Amaka had it all, a steady home, a gentle husband, and 2 beautiful children. But sometimes, when the world outside glitters, what's already golden begins to feel dull, until it's gone. She met Chuka 12 years ago at a leadership seminar in Abuja. She was the sharp-tongued, blazer-wearing PR executive climbing the ranks. He was the calm, analytical systems engineer building tech solutions for local banks. Opposites, yes, but they fit like a song and harmony. After 3 years of friendship and whirlwind romance, they married. Built a quiet life in Surulere. He opened a small but solid IT consultancy. She started her own PR agency from their guest room and grew it with her sweat and wit. And then came the kids, Tari and Chisholm, her heartbeats. They'd been married for 9 years. Safe. Predictable. Warm. But sometimes, warm feels lukewarm when the world keeps whispering that you deserve fireworks. One morning, Amaka sat with a cup of tea, staring at the family portrait on the wall. "You've been quiet all morning. Something on your mind, Amaka?" Chuka asked softly. Amaka sighed. "Chuka, don't you feel like we're stuck? Same routines. Same walls. Same conversations." Chuka smiled, gently teasing. "Well, if you don't want the same conversations, we could spice it up with a game of chess. I'll even let you win this time." Amaka half laughed. "It's not funny, Chuka. I'm serious. There's a whole world out there. Women are building empires, living lives of adventure, and I'm here making stew and school runs. You're building a life. A real one. One that matters," Chuka said, leaning closer. But Amaka's ears were tuned to louder drums, the ones beating online, in flashy reels and filtered lives. The more she scrolled, the more she craved more. And in her hunger for excitement, she mistook consistency for complacency, love for limitation. A week later, Amaka had a lunch date with her friends, at a chic rooftop restaurant in Lekki. Amaka wasn't always restless. But every few weeks, she met with the women who redefined what winning looked like, her ride-or-dies from university days. Back then, they were all in the same boat, vision boards, job interviews, and dreams of soft life. Now, most of them had arrived, or so it seemed. "Girl, I told you, Chuka's sweet, but safe isn't sexy. You need a man who challenges you. Like my new guy, he flies me to Dubai like it's shit a market." Titi, fashionably dressed and loud laughing, said behind oversized designer sunglasses. "Not everyone wants to be flying," Beezy added, always on her phone. "Me, I just want peace and passport stamps." "Amaka, no lie, you're too brilliant to be tied down doing Madam Housewife." Amaka laughed, sipping wine with a slight edge in her voice. "You know what? Maybe it's time I start choosing myself." "Exactly. One life, babe. Don't waste your glow on vibes and rice," Titi nodded, topping off her mimosa. They meant well, or at least, they thought they did. These were women Amaka had grown up with, cried with, cheered on. But now, their definitions of love, power, and freedom were louder than her own. And just like that, the seed was planted. Amaka, once the grateful wife, began to see her husband as an anchor rather than a home. The days after that brunch with her friends became a blur for Amaka. Their words echoed in her ears like a drumbeat: "You deserve more. Don't waste your youth on regrets. Live a little, babe." And just like that, Amaka began to listen, to the world, to temptation, and to a man who had been lurking quietly on the sidelines. Franklin. They'd met once at a conference, just small talk. But after Amaka posted a picture from the brunch, Franklin messaged her. "You looked radiant," he typed. "Innocent, right?" But the messages didn't stop. At first, it was light, banter about Lagos traffic, the price of diesel, how frustrating parenting could be. But one night, as Chuka snored beside her, she found herself laughing too loudly at a voice note from Franklin. That was the beginning. Soon, she was sneaking into the bathroom late at night, whispering into her phone, cheeks flushed like a schoolgirl. She told herself it was just conversation, just company. But when you start hiding, the heart's already halfway gone. He invited her to lunch. Just lunch. They met at a classy restaurant in Lekki, dim lighting, soft jazz, and wine glasses half full. She wore a nude lipstick and her old favorite wig. When he reached for her hand across the table, she didn't flinch. She smiled. After that, everything spiraled. Amaka began lying to Chuka. "I'm seeing the girls tonight." Chuka, holding their toddler in one arm and dinner in the other, simply nodded. "Hey babe. Be safe." She didn't feel guilty, not then. Just excited. But alive. Franklin dazzled her. Sports cars, weekend trips for work. Gifts in shiny wrapping with price tags she didn't dare imagine. He painted a life she didn't have to build. A shortcut to the soft life. The first time they slept together, it was in a golden-lit hotel room in Victoria Island. She wore a silky dress she bought just for him. He kissed her shoulder and whispered promises. "I could give you everything. You just have to choose you." And one evening she did. She packed her suitcase in silence. Chuka was out with the kids. No confrontation. No letter. Just a cold goodbye text. She left the house like a thief in the night, chasing a dream she thought was waiting at the end of the elevator. The papers were signed. The home was quiet, but not peaceful. The children didn't understand. Chuka understood too well. "Amaka, are you sure this is what you want? Not just for you, but for our children?" Chuka asked gently. "They'll be fine. They'll adjust." "Kids always do," Amaka said coldly. "But I won't. I loved you, Amaka. I still..." His voice cracked slightly. "Don't make this harder than it has to be," she said, cutting him off. And so she left, with her head held high and a false confidence clinging to her heels. Her family called. His mother wept. Her pastor begged. But Amaka had already crossed the line in her heart long before she signed it on paper. "Amaka Baiko, listen to me," her mother pleaded, voice laced with Igbo accent. "Marriage is not always sweet. But you don't throw away a good man because your friends are traveling to Dubai." "Mummy, I'm not a prisoner. I need space to grow," Amaka replied, annoyed. "You had a garden, Amaka. Now you're running into the desert," her mother sighed deeply. But nothing reached her. Not love. Not legacy. Not even the tears of her daughter who asked, "Why did Mummy leave?" The fantasy began to rot quickly. Franklin's sweet words turned sour. The real man underneath the filtered photos came to light. "Franklin, what happened to the business loan? The apartment? You said," Amaka asked. "You think money grows on trees? If you want luxury, go back to your sugar husband." Franklin snapped. "You used me," she cried. "No, baby. You used yourself. I just played my part," he laughed cruelly. She had traded her crown for crumbs. And now even the crumbs were gone. No home. No love. No Franklin. Just an inbox full of unpaid bills and silence from the people who once adored her. Chuka didn't drown in heartbreak. He rebuilt. Quietly. Steadily. Promotions came. His smile returned. And with time, so did love. He was seen laughing with a new woman at a charity event. His children were by his side, thriving. He never spoke ill of Amaka, but he learned to live without her. 2 years later, she knocked on the same door she once slammed shut. Please. I made a mistake. I was wrong. I miss you. I miss the kids. Her voice trembled. Amaka. It's too late, he said quietly. Just let me see them, our babies. Please. I don't want to see her, Daddy. She left us, the little daughter said, hiding behind Chuka. And just like that, the home she abandoned had healed, without her in it. She thought the grass was greener. She learned it was painted. Now she stands outside a door she once owned. Knocking, but no one opens anymore. Amaka learned, too late, that stability is not stagnation. That love, when quiet, is not lifeless. That a man who prays with you and stays with you is worth more than one who dazzles then disappears. She walked away chasing fireflies, but forgot that real light doesn't flicker. It glows steady like a lighthouse in the storm. And now the house she left is no longer hers. The children she bore no longer run into her arms. And the man she once called boring is now someone else's blessing. Regret is a cruel teacher. It teaches when the students have left and the door has closed. So to every heart listening, may you cherish what's real. Before the glitter blinds you. Before the good is gone. The end. Thanks for watching. Have you ever mistaken consistency for boredom? Share in the comments. Would you forgive Amaka? Or is it truly too late? Tag someone who needs to hear this before they throw away something. Like, share, and please subscribe. Thank you.